Alright guys, what's up? So, I said that I'd probably do more tutorials today, so I am. Here, I realized that I taught you guys the backflip, and I realized that I should have started with some easy parkour basics before I started doing tricks. So maybe it'd be pretty cool if you learned a backflip and then you learned a parkour basic. So you already learned a cool tricky move, and then now you're just going to learn basic. So here's the basic. This is probably the most important thing in parkour and free running is the parkour roll. Parkour roll, safety roll, whatever you want to call it. Mess up roll. Just whatever roll. I'll also be covering the dive roll in this too. Dive roll is also another sort of parkour vault in a way. You're not using your hands though, you're diving over stuff. It looks pretty cool too. So anyway, let's get into it. So this is a simple thing to learn if you learn it right. If you learn it wrong, it's going to take a lot of time and training and hard work to break the habit of doing a bad parkour roll. So I think it is very important, so I'm going to try hitting all the key points. This is a very simple move to do, but it can be very hard to actually get it right. But it's very important to go jumping off heights, or if you mess up a trick or something, or you're doing a vault, you catch, and you're about to fall on your face, then this is a very good recovery tool. So, anyway, let's get into it. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start down here on my knees. And so, like I said, I have a lot of analogies for this, for parkour and stuff. I don't really have a good analogy for this, sorry guys. Good little kind of something to think about while you're doing it. Although, I guess I could think about is you want to make a line around your back. So if you look at my back here, my lower back right around where my hips are, all the way up to my upper back, up there to my shoulders, is think about there's a line. And you want to hit that line when you're doing the roll. Also, a parkour roll is not a somersault. It is not like a gymnastics roll where you want to go like that. It is very important not to do that because it hurts your spine, your shoulders. It's not really a recovery tool, and if you will not want to do that on concrete. I promise you. So here is you have your line here. So whatever shoulder you feel comfortable rolling on, that is the shoulder you're probably going to want to use. I think it would also be helpful to go on, I am a left roller, although I'm right hand dominant, right side dominant, I'm right brain dominant. It's kind of weird how I roll on my left though, and I just think it's important to learn it both because maybe you might become slightly, say if you are a left roller like me, coming in maybe harder on your right, and you don't have time to switch, you might want to learn it on your right. It's good to be able to do both. So, what I feel to start learning is to make a triangle with your hands. You're going to want to place your hands on the ground like this, on the opposite side that you're rolling. So I'm rolling on my left, I'm going to put them on my right side, on my right side of my body. And what I want to do is when I go into my roll, I'm going to go down, under, and try to go into that triangle, like that. So when I'm going down into this triangle, you should try to go down like that. Obviously, you don't want to really keep your hands there if you're rolling, because it could hurt your wrists while you're doing it. So you want to go down and move the arm that you are rolling on while you make the triangle. So if I'm coming in like this, have the triangle here, I'm going to move my arm like that to start rolling on my side. So that's the first part of your setup for it. Put your hands here and make a triangle, and go down under and start going on the shoulder. It's important to tuck in your head and tuck in your body. That's a lot of the hardest thing with people that they struggle with on the roll is they don't tuck in enough. They kind of do a roll that looks like that, and that doesn't really work that well. You want to make sure you tuck in and you're making that whole line from your shoulder down to your lower back. It's vice versa here. So, next, once you go here, you're going to want to tuck in your arm like this and start going on that shoulder to start making that line. So, this is sort of hard to explain. I explain the roll while I'm trying to do it, but you're going to want to go in and roll over to make that line. So you should, instead of ending up directly in front of you, you should end up more to the side. That's the point of it. So, here is sort of a quick recap. I can't really explain anything while you're going through the roll. It's sort of like a front flip because you're rolling forwards. In the back roll, you can explain a little bit more. But in the front roll, it's like you can't really see your landing. There isn't much you can really say while you're doing it, except for using your arm. So I just recommend starting your knees, using your arm to go on into the roll. So make that triangle. So here we go. Here's a recap. Make that triangle, put it on the ground. Use your arm to roll under. If you kind of want to throw it here on your shoulder, then roll to the opposite side of your back. So like this. So if you do it right, you should be able to land sort of in a stance that's like this or like this. If you land more like as my feet are right here, like this, then it means you probably weren't rolling across your back. You might be, instead of making that full on, I'm doing it on my left side, that full on line from here to here, you're probably doing it from right there. So it's sort of more of a crooked line. It's not a diagonal line. So, throwing your arm under and rolling. You can start with two different ways of foot positioning. If you're going off a height, I'll talk about that in a second. You're going to want to go like this, and you're going to want to land like this. If you mess up a trick, you can also land it like this and still go into the roll. Once you get better, you won't need that triangle. When I do my roll, I kind of go into it like that. See, when I did that roll, I felt it right here. It wasn't right here. So, you should try to feel all the points. It should cross through your spine. You should feel sort of like a line being made right between there. So, that is the basic roll. You can start taking it onto your feet once you get good on your knees, but I really can't explain when you're going through the roll. Just try to think about making a line through here, and then get back up. And a good exercise is going down, jumping, rolling, and continuing to sprint, like this. So, I'll do a little bit of it off heights. I have this little kids picnic table here that I can use. So when you're starting to go off heights, I think it's important to really try to land like this and then go into the roll. I would start with something really low when you start working on heights off the roll, but mainly, hopefully you have your roll mastered by now. You're going to jump down and roll like that. So, land like both feet right here. That's where you want it. It's a good solid stance. Some people do tend to land like this. The split leg works fine, but when you finish up in your roll, you're going to end up with your legs split. I don't know if you saw that, but my legs are split here when I landed. So it just depends on how you're landing, and also you don't want to make sure your legs are crossed, because if you cross legs, you might trip and fall. So, dive rolls. Dive rolls are pretty self-explanatory. I like to bring back the triangle whenever I'm teaching dive rolls, or just sometimes doing them on concrete, is to dive over the object and keep your hands and go over to the side. So think about diving and then just doing your roll. Diving is important. You're jumping off 2 feet. I'll say a lot this when I do a tutorial on the Kong vault. Jumping off 2 feet is very important in the Kong. So I'll just do a quick dive roll over this. So you want to make sure that you're just hitting all the aspects, and your hands should touch down first. That should be for your feet to do this, because obviously you're diving and you don't have time to kick your feet out. So I hope you guys like my tutorial on the parkour roll, safety roll, whatever you want to call it, roll, free running roll. Please like and subscribe what you like and what you didn't like in this, what I can improve on, and anything you want to see in the future. Thank you for watching.